It's election night in America. While we're waiting for results to come in, we gotta, do a little bit of fun. We have a big list of content creators right here, and we're gonna be putting them on a political spectrum. Now, Devin, you don't know all these political people's opinions, like they never put them out. Well, that's because we're gonna be basing this just off vibes. So in no way am I saying this person 100% is, a Trump supporter, a leftist, a communist, a Nazi, or anything. I'm just simply saying that based off their vibes, they're a little sus in one direction or another. So I don't know if we'll do this in order. We'll just go little by little. Let's start first off with Mr. KeemStar. If you don't know KeemStar, he has ran Drama Alert for many years. Some of his highlights that we can maybe put him in one way or the other. He's said the N-word before on camera, on stream.
Alix is doing this shit.
The N-word.
Yo, everybody type in the chat, Alix is a stupid.
N-word.
Just type in the chat, Alix is a stupid.
The N-word.
So, that's already pushing him over here. He endorsed Trump this year. Continues to push him over here. He has said he refuses to date women his age. And then basically, I don't even have to say anymore. Like, obviously, far right Nazi. So, clearly, KeemStar, as far right as you can go. Well, not as far right as you can go. As you'll see later, we have some wild people on this list. But let's actually just go a little random. And let's check out Kai. So Kai, one of the biggest streamers out, has a lot of celebrities on his show. Some, lean left, some lean right. He's also very commercial friendly. Based off everything he has expressed, it would seem he would lean left. But I wouldn't necessarily put him as far as a leftist, a socialist, a communist, because, just off the vibes, he has to be brand friendly, right? I'm gonna go conservative liberal based off the fan base, based off just the vibe. It doesn't seem as progressive as it could be, Let's go with JasonTheWeen. JasonTheWeen has a lot of connections with people who are much further left, but he does also have a lot of connections with people who are on the right, who have openly endorsed Trump. He's in FaZe Clan. I'm getting the same vibe of conservative liberal, but for completely different reasons than Kai. And I can't explain that. It's just vibes. It's just vibe. That's what most of this list is going to be vibes. Let's go with another person that is extremely far right, and that's Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is the super motivational speaker. He tries to get people to be successful, and he was speaking at the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden in New York. I would have put him in strong conservative, because I think he is really strong conservative, but you can't necessarily be too crazy. Especially if you're trying to be a successful businessman and present yourself very nice and presentable. However, at this particular rally, he said, we need to slaughter the people who support Kamala Harris.
We need to slaughter this other people.
He used the word slaughter. And for that reason, there's no possible way that he can just be strong conservative. He has to be far right. Anthony Fantano, he specifically refused to review the Kanye album because of Kanye's comments. He aligns himself with a lot of left-leaning people. And if you follow him on Instagram, he shares a lot of stuff that's left-leaning. And for that reason, I have to put him as a leftist. Let's go Philly D. You think Philly D, recording news, would be a centralist, right? But wrong. He does a great job of covering news and not being necessarily unbiased with it. But in his personal life, his vibe goes right here. And I hope that makes sense. Valkyrae. Now, Valkyrae is someone I don't think necessarily that talks about her politics that much. She said specifically tonight, I said she was worried about the election, is what she said. I want to put her here, but I don't know. It's like it's not fully giving that. It 100% is giving this. Also, she's got a new podcast out that's great. I think everyone should go watch it. One of my old-time favorite YouTubers, Neistat, always to me seemed like a super progressive guy. Recently, when he has made videos, it's been concerning. Specifically, he left Los Angeles because he said he hated homeless people, and he was living on the west side in one of the nicest areas, but still was like fueled for this hatred of homeless people when there's homeless in New York, dog. You're just like higher up, you can get further away from them without ever having out to look at them. He's also talked about Israel and Zionism and being a Jew and everything. And when he has necessarily talked about that, he hasn't talked about it in an unbiased way. So for that reason, I'd love to put him in centrist, but he still calls himself a liberal. And he still does vote for a lot of liberal policies. So for that reason, I'm going to put him conservative liberal, and then by far the most conservative liberal that we've talked about so far. The most competent to be in this particular one. Patrick Bet David. Patrick Bet David has a podcast. I was following Patrick Bet David for a long time before he really revealed his political interest. And also, I said some of these are off vibes, but in reality, it's like if you've already just shown your colors, then like I gotta like put you on here. Like, you know, someone like Valkyrae or even JasonTheWeen or Kai, those are 100% off vibes. But Philip Defranco and KeemStar, those are people that have already shown exactly who they are and exactly who they support. So it's like, I just got to do it. I don't have any other choice. Getting back to Patrick Bet David, he had Donald Trump on his podcast specifically. He's got a funny video clip out there of him specifically with Graham Stephan, who's right beside him, asking Graham Stephan if he was gay.
Are you gay?
Me? No.
What do I need to do to convert?
Yeah, I'm listening.
What do I need to do to convert you into being gay?
I don't think you can.
You don't think I could convert you to being gay?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick Bet David, he has never said anything that has necessarily gave me Nazi vibes. He is 100% though a strong conservative, especially having, Trump on his podcast and all these different things. It's clear that PBD is a conservative. So Destiny, everybody knows him as like one of the more leftist leaning progressives out there. The issue is he specifically talks about some things that are like a little bit off in his vibe. I would 100% put him over here, but he talks about he's a big defender of Israel, and for some reason he can't have any empathy for Gaza, despite having a lot of empathy for people in America. On top of that, he has defended his right to say the N-word, which is very off, out of character. Destiny should go right here, but simply because of those few little things, I can't. I have to move him down. I'd like to move him further down. He may move further down in the future, but you never really know. Let's talk about Alix Earle. Alix Earle is one that I'm going to put in the covert conservative category specifically. Alix Earle has grown up in a life of a lot of privilege, goes on a lot of luxury things, does a lot of stuff. And on top of that, one of her biggest controversies is saying the N-word and then copywriting her saying the N-word. So anybody that talks about her saying the N-word immediately gets copyright striked. And that in itself sounds like far-right Nazi, but she tries to stay out of politics. It's clear she is conservative, but she tries to, cover that up, keep that quiet, keep that really secret. But I do have to add another Nazi right now, and that is Andrew Tate, an easy one, not to go in strong conservative, to go in Nazi, the most far-right Nazi. Human trafficker has taught a massive group of boys to be very primitive, far-right conservatives, hate women, and then on top of that, he loves to use every slur possible on Twitter now. Every single one of his tweets is him dropping the N-word. As Elon Musk would reply in a comment, concerning. Honestly, I need to get someone on the centrist list. I don't necessarily see one. I do see Emma Chamberlain. Let's talk about Emma Chamberlain. When she first got started, seemed to be somebody who was a bit more progressively liberal. I've never really watched much of Emma Chamberlain besides her early day vlogs. What I have seen over time as she's changed is she has become a bit more elitist, a bit more out of touch, a bit more, just trying to live that luxury life away from the peasants. And specifically for that reason, I'm not going to put her on the right side, but I am going to put her as a conservative liberal. Let's talk about PewDiePie. Now, PewDiePie has wore costumes on his videos before. He has said the N-word in one of his streams before. And with all of this, you think he would be a far-right, right? But no, PewDiePie is just stupid when it comes to how he should be viewed in the media. He tries to joke too much. He tries to be too edgy. I don't necessarily know if it's because of, just not understanding the American perspective from it, because he is Swedish. Now he lives in Japan, which is left of the United States also. With that being said, I think PewDiePie goes on the strong conservative. Obviously, he can't be covert. He's been loud about his political opinions, even if that is necessarily, a joke, or it's not that serious the way these people are, or this person is hiding about. I don't necessarily think he's in the centrist category. Even if you were centrist, I don't think you would touch those jokes, especially if you're going on stream. Brett Cooper's an interesting one. She's clearly conservative. She goes on the Daily. She has a show on the Daily Wire. What's necessarily surprising is I don't necessarily know how much of her opinions she believes. She went to UCLA. She said she was looked at UCLA for being too conservative, which I believe her on. However, she's 100% not in this category. And I don't necessarily even want to put her in the strong conservative category. I kind of, as if there an option to add a row, let's call this light conservative. I'm making a whole new category for Brett Cooper. She gets slight conservative. She's portrayed more stronger than I think her opinions actually are. The reason I made it pink is because she had some massive disagreements about the Barbie movie with other Daily Wire host, Ben Shapiro, who was calling it hot garbage and feminist and everything, and she just loved it. And that single-handedly by itself changed my opinion on Brett Cooper. And I'm like, oh no, she's not about this. She's a bit more normie. She's on this certain network. She's doing this certain show. She's talking about certain comments. And clearly, she is on this side of the spectrum, but she's 100% not, here or even lower. So she gets a new category. Let's go with Dude Perfect. Dude Perfect, they're in Texas. So, leans right. But you can't judge them on that. There's a lot of left-leaning people in places like Austin. But I will say, they're also very Christian. I don't remember what rumors have come out about them. I've heard things in the past that were conservative, but I don't remember it. But on top of that, just fully based off vibes, they're conservative. And I think they're covert conservative. Not as much as Alix Earle. I think they're probably nicer people than her. She's not a good person. But yeah, I think they go right here. We don't have any centrist yet. Let's see if we get to that. Actually, Ray William Johnson, back in the day when he was doing his Equals 3 show, there was some sketchy comments he made. But on top of that, he covers a lot of stuff that seems left-leaning as well. And in my opinion, I think Ray William Johnson would probably be the best option. Khaby Lame is the apolitical person, because I doubt anyone else on this list is going to be seen as apolitical. Sam Seder, easy if you listen to Sam Seder, leftist, super progressive. And now the guy who's afraid of him, Steven Crowder, baby. Steven Crowder has done blackface. He's done all kinds of like insane, terrible stuff. Far right. No question about it at all. Let's go rapid fire with some more Nazis. Adin Ross, clear Nazi, banned off the Twitch platform, has shown adult films to minors, encourage kids to hurt their siblings. I could go on and on. He's a dangerous person. Massive Nazi. Tied to Andrew Tate. Had Trump on his stream. All of this just super hateful. Far right. Dr. Disrespect. I would have put Dr. Disrespect in one of these two slight or strong conservative categories up until recently, where the allegations came out. And not only just those allegations that put him here, I feel like a pedophile needs to instantly go into the far right category. But on top of all that, he is very strongly grifted into a super right wing politics on Twitter. Another Nazi we can add to this list. Sneako hangs out with a lot of Nazis. Sneako has said many things. I think Sneako was a Bernie supporter back in the day, actually, which makes it even crazier. But Sneako, easy Nazi. All right, I think I got all the Nazis out of the way. All the far right guys. Tim Pool liked to call himself like a normal Democrat for a while, or even like I believe a centrist. But it's been revealed more. Hold on, actually. Trump wins Nebraska. Okay. He's got a lot of like negative things that have come out about him recently. He was paid by Russia to promote Russian propaganda. Honestly, puts him pretty far down here. I don't know if you put Tim Pool as a Nazi, because he tries his strongest to push off super far right. And he tries to claim that he is like a normal Democrat. Let's get back to these. LegalEagle. Now, if you've watched a LegalEagle, you would definitely feel like this guy is a centrist, right? Because of the way he talks about the law and everything. He did endorse Kamala, by the way. He made a very specific video about endorsing Kamala. LegalEagle seem to be like moving more towards conservative liberal. However, I will also say LegalEagle has a lot of ties to a lot of leftist content creators, leftist activists and everything. And while he's, a lawyer, he's got to remain partial. I think he goes in the progressive liberal category. I feel like his politics are very similar to Philly Defranco. XQC is very interesting. I believe he made a bet on Kamala, or he endorsed Kamala. I'm not sure which. But he was also with Adin Ross when he brought Trump on stream. And XQC over time has said some, concerning things. He's had his moments on the stream and all that. Is he conservative liberal? Progressive liberal? I'm going to put him in conservative liberal. I think XQC is conservative liberal. He may have been here at one point. At one point, I thought he was down here. Dream. Let's do Dream. Dream seems like a centrist, right? But I think he leans slight left. And that's all I have to say about Dream. Let's talk about Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper of the Call Me Daddy podcast had specifically Kamala Harris. But yeah, Alex Cooper, I don't know. Up until the point that she brought Kamala Harris on the stream, I always got the vibe that she was conservative. But I don't know. I don't know if I should put her in progressive liberal or conservative liberal. I think recently she's been given more of this vibe. But I think I'm gonna put Alex Cooper in conservative liberal. No real explanation behind that. Brooke Monk, what do I know about her? TikToker, does a lot of TikTok dances. Seems to have grown up a little bit more privileged. Is Christian, and honestly, I've seen her do some stuff that supports BLM. In 2024, I think she voted for Trump. Covert conservative. Let's talk about Big Justice, baby. Big Justice and his dad. Personally, they give conservative vibes, but also liberal vibes. So the dad has actually been doing online content creation for a long time, and that's not just a liberal thing. But, you know, he sort of leans that way. Yeah, I'm going to put him in the covert conservative. That's the vibe they give me. Ethan Klein, I would have usually put him up here, but just like Destiny, he has had his issues and his stances that are kind of conservative. So he is going in the progressive liberal category. And honestly, with the way he's going, I'm not going to be surprised if he doesn't get down here at some point. HasanAbi, no question. Probably the most on this list out of everybody. Livvy Dunne. She goes to LSU. Louisiana, very conservative. She dates a baseball player. She also, I understand, she deals with a lot of harassment online by men and understands that difficult side of it. But that's not going to be enough. She's still covert conservative, baby. Stephan, slight conservative, strong conservative. Graham is open to ideas. If you've listened to his podcast before, he's really open to other ideas. His main goal is making money, using people and the system and everything. And he probably voted for Trump, honestly, but only slight conservative. He does talk about politics a lot, so that's why I wouldn't put him in covert. Monet Mcmichael. I don't know. I get covert conservative from her. She could be here. Honestly, let's check her Instagram. Who is she following? Okay, I've seen enough. I looked at her following list and looked at the mutuals. She is 100% conservative liberal. Maybe even more. Up here on the list. We don't know. Speed. You know, top two streamers are Kai and Speed. I will say Speed is to the left of Kai. Speed, generally, he has gotten more culture by traveling around the world. He believes in freeing Palestine. His heart is generally in the right place. He used to be, I would say he was probably down in this area at one point, but he's matured. He's a great guy. I love Speed. Bella Poarch. Given progressive liberal vibes, you know, she got famous off of just that one TikTok blowing up. But, you know, I think she's a bit more of an interesting person than that. If you've ever listened to her music, if you've ever listened to her on one of these podcasts or anything, she seems like a generally super nice person. She seems far away from this, which is why I think she should go in progressive liberal. Okay, Addison Rae. Addison Rae, I believe, voted for Kamala today. However, based on everything she's done, including dating Bryce Hall, and just her general vibe she gives off, covert conservative. And speaking of her boyfriend, Bryce Hall, we covered him a while back on one of the creator news streams. Personally, I think Bryce Hall, he's not smart enough to be a Nazi. He doesn't know enough about politics to be a Nazi, you know? I think he's just strong conservative. I don't think he's even slight conservative. I think he's just down here. He's been on stage with Trump all the time, and he's being very antagonizing to people. And given the chance, he's probably said the N-word before. Strong conservative, baby. MrBeast, baby. 100% covert conservative. No idea where he fits on here. I would put him at centrist, but I just know deep down, MrBeast is got some conservative ties somewhere. I don't know. It's given that vibe. I mean, I grew up in North Carolina. I know about Greenville, a very conservative place. I genuinely doubt MrBeast has ever been up here on this side of the spectrum. He's got lots of friends up here on this side of the spectrum. I doubt he's ever personally himself been up here. Druski, baby. I would want to put him over here, but he just doesn't give that vibe. A lot of the people he hangs out with, I would put down here. If I had to be completely honest, I'd say Druski voted for Trump. Covert conservative, baby. That is starting to add up. Rhett and Link. I don't know if I'd put Rhett and Link here or here. I'm looking at who's here and I just can't put them here. So I'm going to put Rhett and Link right up here. Marquez Brownlee. Marquez, I don't think he's here, but I definitely don't think he's anywhere down here. He's somewhere in here. That's the vibe I'm getting. I don't think he's a centrist. I don't think he's a progressive liberal either. I'm gonna give him conservative liberal. Ninja, centrist. There we go. I said there would be no other centrist tonight. I think Ninja's a centrist. I don't think he's like a covert conservative. I don't think he's slightly conservative, but I wouldn't say he's a conservative liberal either. Jacksepticeye, I would put left of Ninja. I wouldn't put him this far left. So conservative liberal. I was giving reasons before. I'm not necessarily giving reasons now. This is definitely more vibes thing. Markiplier, I would put left. I have Jacksepticeye. Would I put him here? Here? I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him right beside Jacksepticeye. Zach King. I am going to... Zach King creative. He's a pretty solid, outstanding guy. So I think he goes right here with Dream. I'm going to put him right here with Dream. He's a conservative liberal, you know? Creative guy. Pretty chill, you know? I don't see anything from him that would push him any further. I don't see anything that would push him further down here. You know, he's default liberal. All right, Charli D'amelio, easy, covert conservative. You know, tried to trick us with thinking she cared about BLM and stuff. She is a covert conservative, baby. All right, Logan Paul endorsed Donald Trump, brought him on his podcast. Transphobic remarks, showed a dead body, strong conservative, easy. Jake Paul, very similar person. They're basically identical, strong conservative. Faze Banks said he was voting for Donald Trump, and he did. But everything I've understood about Faze Banks is he does not know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything about politics. And overall, he's pretty socially liberal too, by the way. So for that reason, I can't put him in covert conservative because he voted for Donald Trump, but I'll put him in slight conservative. Cutie Cinderella. Progressive liberal, baby. Right here. You and Valkyrae are friends. You stay right here. Pokemon. Same. Put her here too. And finally, hey, ignore the extra Valkyrae. Finally, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, you might think he goes right here on the far right. But Ben Shapiro is actually super libbed up in his style, in the way he acts. He wanted to be a Hollywood screenwriter, by the way. He grew up in the Los Angeles, California area. Everything about him is liberal. Life just didn't work out in his way, so he grifted to the right. The only difference is he just grifted a little too hard and became this big figurehead. So that's why, strong conservative. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There is the entire political spectrum of content creators, from the most left-leaning to the most far-right. What do you think? Did I get any wrong? I'm pretty confident in it. I'm pretty confident. So, with that being said, we have fully completed that. Yeah, guys, let me know what other video ideas you want to see on this channel. This was done on our live stream, so make sure to subscribe so you can catch us doing this live. And it's election night here. You guys already know who president is, so good luck to you, whoever it is. And I'll see you in the next video.